in studio, I have with me a right-handed batsman, right-hand bowler. Do you know what's the best you can do with your left hand?
Not really much. Maybe give me a check or something like that. I could take it that way. But funny you should say this. You talk about guys who right arm, left arm. There was James Sutherland, who's the CEO of Cricket Australia. His first game for Victoria, he's actually a big right arm, medium fast bowler and a right arm batter. First ball was hit down to him at fine leg, picked it up 75 metres, threw it in left-handed. And we couldn't believe it. And Merv Hughes, a funny Australian bowler at mid-on, said, he's amphibious. No, it's ambidextrous, mate. Fast bowlers, they have no brains, honestly.
Right. Did you know that Sachin was actually a left-hander? He writes with left-hander, eats, and maybe that's why it comes easy to him. He was hitting sixes batting left-hander.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Like even in golf back in the early 1900s, and they actually stopped kids from batting, actually hitting golf balls left-handed because they didn't have clubs to actually suit them. And the same goes as in the old days in England. They actually used to slap the ruler over kids riding left-handed to make them right-handed. So it's a funny thing why it just wasn't right. But my brother is right-handed at everything, and he actually writes left-handed.
Okay, let me ask you about a big story today, and that's the NDTV's vision statement. Since you're a professor, if that was a thesis, 125-page long thesis, how many marks would you give it?
Well, it was a hard one. It took me about 10 minutes to read it, and they've copied some of the stuff from Professor Dino about SWOT analysis and everything like this. Number one, you do not need to be motivated to play for your country. You do not need to be motivated to play in a World Cup. Do you understand by looking at vision when Kapil Dev wins the World Cup in 1983 how important it is? And to get that, you've got to work hard and do all those little things. Sure, they've got to do all that older stuff, but ultimately, winning is everything and all the hard work, but really, do you really need a 125-page report to tell you what's important and what's not?
I'm sure because of the busy schedule, they might not even read that entire report. But, you know, didn't you ever look up to some other sportsmen? In this case, we've got Muhammad Ali quotes, maybe because not every player reads a lot of books. Maybe for them to look at some other inspirational sports people.
Yeah, look, interestingly, I like reading a book about John McEnroe, You Can't Be Serious. There was an interesting one where his mum and dad pushed him in to be a tennis player. He didn't want to do it, but his competitive spirit got him through, and I think that's why he argues a lot with the umpire and everything to get himself upbeat. I like Jack Nicklaus as a guy when I was younger. I loved the way he portrayed in the sport, big, powerful hitter of the golf ball. Flamboyant and all that type of stuff. I never had any cricket legends or heroes, funny enough.
So no harm for the Indian team to look at, say, a Muhammad Ali?
Oh, look, Muhammad Ali, look, the stuff that guy's gone through in his life, through racism and he didn't want to go to war, then turned his religion to Muslim and been the best. I think it's wonderful lessons. You can learn from everyone. That's the whole idea of it.